You got his side, her side, the truth. Everybody got a story, all that matters is proof. We got the ladies in the red, fellas rocking the blue. So we gon' sit down and discuss it, talk it out with the crew. Shorty want a man, but wanna be outside. Bro, I had a wife with a girlfriend on the side. It's time to shit the facts, no more holding it aside. This show is a roller coaster, and we about to take a ride. His side, her side, the truth. His side, her side, the truth. His side, her side, the truth. Everybody got a story, all that matters is proof. What?
In the building, this is His Side, Her Side, and the Truth podcast. Who am I? I'm LV. Back again, you already know. And to the left of me.
Yo, no introductions, you know. El Faro in the building. I'm the guru. You'll learn.
Across from him.
Alice, I don't have much to say.
We know what that means. Kia's back. Y'all know what it is.
Yeah. So today's topic, we talking, you know, how we always do with our subdivision of 30 plus. We talking, can you turn a hoe into a housewife?
What the fuck is a hoe?
A hoe.
All right. Before you start, you gotta define. You gotta break down what a hoe is. Ladies, don't get crazy. We're not calling you a hoe.
I ain't calling nobody a hoe. I'll give you the term right now. It's in the Urban Dictionary. A hoe. A term used to describe a person, usually a woman, who has sex with strangers, gives into flirtation from strangers, and dresses extremely revealing.
Gives into flirtation with strangers.
Often goes out at night more than daytime or in the evening. A hoe has no friends, or at least no real friends, and only hangs around with the opposite sex. They are promiscuous. Friends. They are physically attractive through either plastic surgery or makeup. But are nothing more than a good in the sheets, all right?
This sounds real sexy.
Hold on, this is the definition. Hold on. They're used to getting compliments if you don't have sex with them or plan to with them. They act like they're non-existent and ignore you. Okay, all right. I hear it. I see what the makeup is for this.
I just want to clear that's Urban Dictionary.
That's the Urban Dictionary. It's not the real term.
But let me say
that sounds like it was geared towards women. What do you mean?
Yeah.
Like, that sounds crazy.
No, it said explicitly women.
But let me just clear something up. Being a hoe doesn't necessarily have to do with sexual intercourse all the time. You could do some hoe shit.
Right.
Not just as much as men can do.
Men can very well.
I'm a hoe. I'm gonna say it out loud.
Oh.
You are a hoe? Define why you are a hoe.
Why you feel like you are?
I'm a hoe because I can't sometimes resist temptation in flesh.
Are you afraid to commit, and that's why you go towards being?
I feel I was afraid to commit, so I've been conditioned to move like this for years.
What's stopping you from committing to a woman?
It's multiple reasons.
That's making you feel.
I'm working on it, but it's multiple reasons. One, I've had sex with a lot of women that had boyfriends and husbands already. And so it sort of like made me look like, damn, if I have a girlfriend,
will she do that to you?
Sleeping out on me? You know, so I sort of been conditioned this way, but I'm working.
So why do you feel like you're a hoe today?
Because he still does the same shit.
Because I know, like, bro.
Today.
Bro, because I can't even give you the details, but.
So do you define yourself a hoe because of the amount of women that you slept with?
Yes.
Is it because you feel like you're still weak? You're still weak and you can't resist it? Like if anybody comes to you and be like, yo, give me that dick.
It's not anybody. It's not like I can't resist. I've said no to plenty of pussy in my life, but.
You sound like you say yes more.
Sometimes I'm an easy participant.
Wow.
And that makes me a hoe.
Any of your females follow the podcast?
A lot of them, they're going to see this. But I'm honest. I don't lie about shit. I'm working.
You working on it. Oh, he's working, ladies. He's working on it.
Clap it up for him.
Yeah. You know, that's the first step in making it.
Let me go back to the question, right? So the question was, can you turn a hoe into a housewife? My answer, no. For some people, most I feel like most men will say no. Mm-hmm. Right? Why? Why would most men say no? Because you gotta deal with. Again, I've been saying this for every episode. You want to give a woman, when you first meet her, her value starts here. Mm-hmm. I know what y'all gonna say. He's so judgmental. Fuck y'all.
You are judgmental.
You very much.
You're very judgmental.
And once again,
But to each his own. That's on him.
right?
Goddamn.
Because at the end of the day, we all look at people with our own views and preferences,
Yeah.
right? So you want to start her here. You give her.
Mm-hmm.
She starts with her value system,
Mm-hmm.
but now you done found out her whole facts.
What's the whole facts?
What is this,
I'm
Carfax?
just saying, whatever.
I mean, she just gave you a history of what she
What is
did.
this? Are we doing Carfax on females?
We do Carfax
Listen.
on everybody.
Y'all do your own history and call it whatever y'all want to do. Your own investigations. We could talk about that a different day, right? But the whole facts. You might have heard some things. She might have told you some things. People might have came back and told you some things about her. So now you might hear, and it's up to you to judge whether it matters to you or it doesn't matter to you, right? But now, what if something becomes too much for you to bear? You can't accept that. You're not gonna want to take some.
She's up now.
I gotta follow the rules.
So you don't believe that people could change?
Some people can change, but that's what I was gonna say, right?
You
That's-
said no originally. You said no. You
What
cannot
I was
turn a
gonna
woman
say
into
this-
a hoe into a
I'm
housewife.
gonna get to that point. Right? Because if you accept it, if you do accept it, if a man decides to accept all that she has done in the past and like, you know what, I love this woman, I'm gonna take her for who she is, and I'm gonna make her mine. Now he might feel like he might have to mold her into the woman that he might want her to be.
Why does he have to mold her?
Because he doesn't. What if he doesn't want?
What if she wants to change?
He doesn't
on her
want that.
own?
That's
What
okay.
if she changed on her own already? What if this is something that happened before she started dealing with
He's
him?
gonna
a long time
change
ago?
and adjust with her. He's gonna change
But
and
why
adjust
does
with
it
her.
have to be that she has to mold for this man? She could have already changed.
You think she just changed like that overnight?
It's a possibility.
What if this was when she was like 21? We talking about 30 plus. What if
That's
she
what I was
a hoe
gonna say.
when she
Do
was,
y'all
like,
believe in
21?
whole phases?
Of course.
We're gonna touch that too.
Because I'm like, just because somebody may have had a whole phase in the past doesn't mean that doesn't define them for
But
life.
what about now if he has to feel like he has to clean up that stigma or that
It's not his It's not his
But
responsibility to clean up her image. He's dating her for his people's approval.
No, listen.
I'll tell you because
That's like it's like getting some. You know how people might want approval from their parents or their best friends or something like that. Close like,
Approval?
How you not approval, but their
said
opinion. Okay,
Let's keep it real.
You know
Like,
what I mean.
Yeah, let's keep it real.
When we around our
you
mans
gonna
and
want,
shit,
like, yo,
and
how
we
you
bring our
feel
girl
about
around,
this?
we don't want none of our mans to be like,
But you know, and I
Yo,
feel
you
like
know-
that's the
yo,
difference.
you know- I know
I feel
that's
like
not
that's the
that.
difference between men and women. I feel like you guys look for your friends' approval. Whereas if I'm fucking with somebody and she don't like him, I'm still gonna fuck with that
Not gonna lie, I
nigga
was
Clearly,
like
'cause
that.
she does
I was
it to
like
this
that.
day.
all the
Yo,
time.
I was like that.
But
Shorty with a hoe and a nigga I
But
knew
it's-
told me,
it's
and I'm like,
different.
yo,
it's different
It bust
because
my
as a
mother.
female, if I bring a guy around and Kia be like, yo, I know he was a hoe back in the days, but at the end of the day, there's no proof to show that he's a hoe right now. And he's
Right
loyal to
now,
me.
right.
She's not gonna judge him off of that. And then he was a hoe, but as long as he's treating you right, I don't care what he did in the past.
Exactly.
And that's
I get
all
that.
that should matter.
And
I get
niggas
that.
can be hoes too.
Yes,
Big
I didn't
hoes.
looking for Ron.
Big hoes.
Y'all are bigger hoes than females.
A lot of times.
Yeah.
And y'all
Why you say that?
sloppier with it too.
Why you say
Yeah.
that?
Niggas are sloppy as fuck. Niggas are.
Why, I'm asking why you say that.
Because I feel like women, yes, you do have some women that are quote unquote hoes, if you want to go by definition or whatever, and they may be a little sloppy or messy the way they do things.
But most women
But
worry
men-
about their body
yes,
count.
but men don't care. Like to a man, their body count being high is something to brag about.
Yeah.
Not a woman. Like a woman to sit there and say she had 100 bodies is not something that's attractive
Right,
for them to say that.
niggas
So they
are
don't want to
gonna
say
automatically
that.
call her a hoe.
Yeah,
Exactly.
So for a man, if he be like, "Oh, I slept with 100 people, I slept with 100 females,"
He get a high five.
he get a high five.
You know what I
And
respect?
then they're
though?
sloppy about it because they'll sit there and sleep with
Everybody in
all
your
the friends
circle.
in
You
the
know
clique.
what I respect though? I respect the hoe that no, she a hoe. Meaning like you're not gonna let the term bother you because you already owned that you did these things and da da
No, you
da.
do have some females that's okay with that.
You know, I respect those. Don't be naive and be like, oh, I wasn't a hoe. Yes, what the
But
fuck?
I-
Yes, she was.
But back to the question: can you turn them to the housewife? It's not about whether or not you can turn them into a
It's if
housewife.
they're willing to
but
change.
If they are willing to change their ways and they want to, like she said, if they had a whole phase and now they're willing to settle down, then why not give
I think
them
the
a
two
chance?
work into each other. If she wants to change from that, and if he's willing to accept,
Her past.
yes,
So-
and also work with her in the change. Like sometimes people need help.
No, yeah. But, so let's,
No,
let's,
finish it. Sometimes people.
let's stop talking in general. So if you dealt with a female who was a hoe in the past that you knew of, would you deal with her?
Like on some wifey type shit.
Yes, you.
I don't think so.
I'll say it out loud.
Or
I'll say it out
first-
loud. I'll say it
or
out
first
loud.
mind or first thought. No,
Why?
Because I don't want that negative stigma. I don't ever want somebody to come back to me and be
about
like,
what other
yo,
people think.
You're worried about somebody saying something to you.
I'm worried about it for myself.
What if this is the love of your life?
How did she become the love of my life?
What if this is the person that you can sit there and get married and y'all are happy together, have kids? She's a great mother, great wife.
We would have had to been dealing in a more.
Her.
We would have had to been dealing in a more personal, intimate level besides just sexual or whole type things
you're in your 30s.
For us to get to that point.
You're in your 30s, so at the end of the day, everybody has a past at this point.
I got a question. What if you met a shorty who dealt with somebody you knew back in the day? Do you automatically push her off like, nah, I can't fuck with this bitch?
Somebody like who?
Yes.
Like, is this my man's?
Man, somebody.
What if she dealt with your man's before you even met?
Before you even met him?
Before you even knew
Yeah.
her?
Yes.
Do I push her away and I find
Not push
out?
her away,
Yeah.
But what if you already started dealing with her? So let's just say she dealt with your man's in the past, right? You started dealing with her, but you didn't know she dealt with your man's until you was already with her.
It was just like a small world.
It's just like a small world. Like you brung her around your friends, and then
And they was like, oh, I know
I'm not gonna lie,
shorty.
this was my situation.
Uh-huh.
I stayed. I was with
And you
this was
stayed.
my girl.
Do you stay because you identify as a hoe too?
I had a conversation with him. Look, I even had a conversation with him. Like,
I think
bro,
he stayed because
I
he
ain't know
But
this
that's
was-
what I'm saying. Do you
That was
stay
his
because you
lady.
identify as a
That
hoe
was his
too
lady.
so you can...
But that's what he's
it was
saying.
cool. It was cool.
That's what she's saying. Do you stay or do you go at this point?
That's what he just said. He said he stayed.
I
He
stayed.
stayed.
But
You.
Oh, y'all really want me to answer?
Yeah, I want you to answer.
All right, boom. So if we was
I think
already
he'll go.
dealing, if we was already dealing, and I found out like, damn, that was my man's. Like after let's say 4 months, I think at this point we already
What if
have
it's
some
a month?
dealings. I can't leave.
What if it's a month? You're saying 4 months. What if it's a month?
It depends.
What if
on-
you like her?
It depends on who this person is.
What if you like her a lot?
I just said it depends on
It
who
depends.
this person is.
It depends on how deep you are already with her.
Yeah.
I say get out early. Don't let it fester.
Because once you
But
find
there's a rule.
out...
You
Other
don't mess with your man's old drink. Like if this is my man's, you don't mess with none of his old drinks. His baby mother, his
Right, you don't-
ex-wife,
that's-
Not nothing.
somebody
But
who
what
he
if
really.
what if she was just a one night stand?
No, not even that. What if she was just...
What
Everybody
if she was
got...
a sneaky link?
Yeah, I'm like, everybody got somebody that got tucked in the back, right? He may
There's a
not
real
have...
code for that.
He may not have necessarily brought her around y'all before. It just so happened you and Shorty crossed paths. Y'all started dealing with each other. Now you're bringing her around because you have deeper feelings for her. So you're bringing her around your friends.
The deeper feelings, or is this somebody who I'm dealing with?
It's somebody you're dealing
Like,
with, and
we
you starting to like her. No, somebody you're dealing with, and you starting to like her. That's why you're bringing her around your bros now. And he's like, "Yo, I was fucking Shorty last year. Like, I was fucking on a consistent basis. What do you then do?
But see,
and
it's
what
a
do you
thing-
classify
But
her
see,
as?
it's a thing behind that because like if my nigga know that if my boy knows that like yo I'm really dealing with her, some chances are some dudes might not tell you that
So
because
what if
he
she
might
tell
not
you?
want it to.
So what if
she tells me now?
So what if she tell you? It'd be like you gonna introduce her and she'd be like, you know what? I'm gonna be honest before your friend, before anybody even come back and tell you.
Could tell you anything first.
I dealt with such and such before.
That's a hard decision. That's a hard decision because you're gonna think about it like damn every single time I'm around, like.
Do you classify? Do you put her in like the whole category after that, or this is just like a
You don't have
coincidence?
to put her in the whole category because, she, like you said, everybody has a past. Like,
Yeah.
it's a small world.
It's just a small world.
So just because she messed with one dude in the past, we're not just gonna be like, oh, she's a hoe.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, we're not doing that. We're not just going around here. We're not sitting here bashing nobody, calling anybody. Yeah, everybody got a past.
Yeah.
So we're not doing that. You know what I'm saying? But as what would y'all do? Do you feel like you could
I've
turn
tried.
a male hoe into a
Yeah,
husband?
I honestly tried. Like I said, I had a relationship, and I felt like, well, I know now that I'm out of it, I know for a fact he was a hoe.
Why?
I feel like
What makes him
I
a
knew
hoe?
the signs because he couldn't turn down the flesh like my brother El Faro over here. He couldn't say no. He was too accessible to a lot of women.
Accessible.
Okay. He was too accessible to a lot of women.
I got cursed out for that. I heard it.
He was too accessible to a lot of women, and a lot of times he was in situations where he couldn't turn it down. He couldn't say no. Let me scratch that. Not couldn't say no. He chose not to say no. He chose not to say no. And yeah, I was younger. I was early 20s or whatever case may be. I seen the signs, but it's like, I love him. Like, he's telling me he loves me. The more I show him that I'm a good girlfriend and I can hold it down, like, he's going to be faithful to me. It don't work. As much as I could wish and choose and cook and clean and fuck and this and that, no, it's not going to work. He wouldn't sit down.
Do you feel like you can change? Like, let's just throw all the whole shit aside. Do you feel like you can actually change a man from those?
I don't feel like I can change anybody. I don't feel like I can change anybody.
You ever get the desire to? Because you might.
I feel like naturally, like when you're really feeling somebody and you're really interested in them and you really don't want to let them go, naturally you try to do everything you can to try to make an impression. But I don't think you could change anybody. They would have to either realize what's missing when you leave and decide to make the change on their own. I don't think I can change him. I could tell him every day, I don't want you to do this. I don't want you to do this. I don't want you to do this. If he want to do it, he's going to do it. It is what it is.
Let's just say y'all stop dealing and some time has passed and they feel like, they want to spin the block like, yo, listen, I changed. Would you ever decide to take them back in a way?
I've had that happen too, but I feel like my situation was too traumatic. Like,
you got a story time? Like,
nah. My situation was just a little bit too crazy where it's like, yeah, I see you doing your thing now. You seem a little more mature. You seem like you're handling certain situations a lot better. And yeah, it's attractive now, but it's like every time you go out the house, I'm gonna be thinking, it's like I'm getting flashbacks. Like, it's like PTSD. Like, I don't want to be that way. Yeah. So it's like, and you're too familiar. So I'd rather not.
What y'all think? Can you change the man? Can you turn him into a husband?
Honestly, I think every man's a hoe. Or they was a hoe at some point. No offense to any fellas. So that's just my mindset. Like, at some point, I feel like all men have a hoe phase at the end of the day.
Do y'all grow out of it? Who knows?
So if it's somebody that wants to be in a committed relationship, it's not my job to change them. If they want that committed relationship, then that's on them to put the work in.
Do you feel like the hoe got to prove that to you, though? And how does he prove that to you? Yeah, how does one prove that to you?
They do have to prove that they want to be in a relationship by their actions. Like, you can't just say, oh, I want to be in a relationship with you, and then you go ghost for like a week. That doesn't work.
So, all right.
So you have to put forth the effort. You have to put in quality time. You have to
be reliable. Be consistent.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you say you're going to do something, then do it. Like, all them things come to play.
Post her on your gram.
No. Not even necessarily.
I don't post guys.
Yeah, I would never.
So.
Never. If you see me post a nigga on my gram, no, he hacks my phone.
You say you drunk.
No, he hacks my phone. I thought you was going to
say just know we together. Know he has my phone.
He hacks my phone. I would never do that shit. I would never do that shit again.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, you have to show it. But I think all men have a whole face. So, but I don't judge them on it.
Is this what, after 30? Before 30?
I judge. It depends on your age.
I believe you can change a hoe into a housewife.
Let's hear it.
Right, but it takes y'all both having hard conversations about what she did, what you did, and coming to terms with it. Like,
so you would be like, yo, all right.
I dealt with a woman who told me she had 100 bodies, nigga.
Woo!
And it hit my soul, but at the same time, who am I to judge anybody?
Who are you to judge when you about to sit there and tell you how to say?
Right, but that's what I'm saying. So on the other side of the camera, they're gonna say, who are you to judge that woman on her past and the fact that she had 100 bodies?
So how are you asking him this? At first, I was a little butthurt.
I was a little
on the other side of the camera.
I was a little butthurt when I first heard it, and I'm like, damn, Shorty's really outside. But then I said to myself, like, bro, you was outside, so you really can't even be mad because you did your numbers. How you think she feel? Mm-hmm. She was triple. So, I dealt with her, and it was cool.
That's you dealt with her on this. But you wanted to wife.
But when you deal with a hoe, you gonna bump into niggas.
And that's what.
And it just depends on her honesty.
That's what I'm like. Is it just like a pride thing? Because, like I said, let me tell you, I've dealt with a nigga who I know was a hoe. Like, I know he's out. I know he was outside. I know he had mad bodies, or whatever the case may be. But being out with him never really had me like feeling no type of way about running to anybody, because it's like the way you move with me, nobody should walk up to us anyway. Right. Mm-hmm. So it's like, is it a pride thing? Like, you're just nervous that a nigga may be like, yo, I fucked your bitch.
Yes. As a nigga, I'll say that's how I used to feel. Like, yo, damn.
But I've dealt with guys where I'm out on a date with them, and then we in a spot, we like in a lounge or something, and like a shorty they dealt with was in a spot. I don't care.
You knew?
Yeah, I know. Tell me. I don't care, because at the end of the day, your attention's on me.
Right. Yeah.
And at the end of the day, you already have it where she knows she's not going to come up and be disrespectful or anything like that. Like, your energy and your time is on me. So why do I care if you're dealing with somebody else? I've also had it where I've been out on a date and the dude I've dealt with was there. It is what it is.
It's all in the other person's
Wait,
attitude.
say that again?
I've been out on a date and another dude I dealt with was there. So.
Oh, I thought you said another dude that you were dealing with was there.
That has happened too.
Alice, you out here.
And not that it was a whole phase. I've been out where
when you date, you could date. How many people you want to date?
What is the woman whole phase? When does this start and when does this end? I always
start. It can start with
it's not a black and white thing. It's really not a black and white thing. And like I said, it's not even like a woman whole phase. And I would never title it as that. Like, we do what we want.
You hear this every day.
I feel like
the whole phase.
I feel like do what you want to do as long as you're not hurting anybody and as long as you're responsible about it. I would never sit there and be like, she's a hoe, you're having a woman whole phase.
And just because I'm dating.
Do y'all actually care about anybody's feelings?
Huh?
During the whole phase, do y'all care about
when you date other people? Do you really consider anybody's feelings, or is it more selfish?
I'm empathetic.
But just because you're dating more than one person doesn't mean that you're being a hoe. That's something
exactly. You're just dating more than one person.
Just because you're dating and you're going out on dates, at the end of the day, doesn't mean that you're going through a whole phase. Is at the end of the day, you're single.
You're single.
And you're dating, and you might be dating to build a relationship, but at the end of the day, you're not going to just maybe date one person.
So tell me what classifies as the whole phase then? For a woman, what classifies as the whole phase?
If they were to have one,
I say like for me,
I would say
something
for
extreme.
me,
Hot girl summer.
Not even that. Hot girl summer is not about a hot girl summer is not about a whole face. It's more about being just liberated. It's not a whole face at all. If I'm gonna classify and say something is a whole face, I would say having irresponsible sex with multiple partners, men, women, whatever the case may be.
Irresponsible sex, you just mean what without a condom?
Raw sex, all types of just irresponsible.
What if it was 50 people and it was responsible?
That's irresponsible.
There's women that go to bars to meet guys. Let's just say she goes to the bar 5 days out of the week. She meets 3 men and she sleeps with all 3 of them. Does that make her a hoe?
It's not anything that I would do, but I wouldn't call her a hoe if that's what she's doing, and that's what she's doing. Me personally, that's just like a lot of bodies for me in 1 week. That's a lot of dick to take.
It could come off hoish.
For me, that's just a lot of dick intake.
Might say, why is it hoish? She's just out here living.
She's living, like I said, if she's not hurting anybody, then
she is living her life. But at the end of the day, again, that whole phase is going to be defined down to the person themselves. What they think is a whole phase. It's not like she said, it's not a black and white thing that you can sit there and say, by definition, a whole phase is when you sleep with a certain
3 men in 1 week
within a certain number of time.
Right, because what you might look at as being single, or what you might look at as being single, vice versa.
Y'all might look at
as being a hoe. Yeah,
you understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So now
my nigga was a hoe. He was in a relationship.
Okay,
he was a hoe. There's no getting around that.
Okay. I mean,
now there's women that's out there doing that too. That's in relationships, sneaky linking whoever they want to sneaky link with, doing whatever the fuck they feel like doing. You know, goes both ways. That's a little bit irresponsible.
We open-minded. Some niggas don't. If a chick got 5 bodies, he's like, yo,
that too.
Some niggas are crazy. They delusional.
I got a question too. Like when y'all front, that's what I was gonna say. Does body count?
Still ask my body count?
That's what I was gonna say. Do y'all still ask?
I used to. I'm 33 now.
No, that's what I'm saying.
I used to at 30.
30.
But now it's like
me, ignorance is bliss. I don't want to know.
I feel like even at 30, that's still a question. That's still like a question you might not want to ask, because at 30, you gotta think about people. I mean, not me, but people start having sex at like 13, 14, 12. Like I've known guys that said they lost their virginity at 11. So at 30, you asking them their body count. Do you really think their body count is like? No, I don't ask. But
I don't ask.
But I'm saying like
this age, I don't want to know too much about your past.
At this age, like. You can't expect that number to be like 8.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, realistically, you can't expect
anybody number to be 8.
I mean, like, when I was like 18 and they be like, if you ever, are you still a virgin, or how many people you had sex with when you was 18? I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I just lost my virginity, whatever. But
I just think it really just boils down on reputation. Like, I'm not saying,
or even how you carry yourself.
But I'm saying how you carry yourself is everything. You feel me? I told you all of this, but I don't move like that. You don't automatically assume that about me.
Yeah.
And it's all about how you move. And some women don't move that way, and
some men don't.
You just have to respect it that way. Some people move loud, some people move quiet.
Like how you said, in the reputation, in the image.
It's all about your reputation. If your reputation is nasty, it's gonna be hard to clean it. But you know,
and that's why I said,
if you was a low down hoe, then nobody's gonna.
But that's why I said in the beginning that if a person decides to accept that woman and be like, you know what, I really do want to wife her, he's going to be thinking about that reputation and that image of the woman that he accepted and chose. And he's also going to be like, damn, well, if we become one, then she's also a reflection of me the same way he's a reflection of her. And that's why I was saying that he might, be thinking about those negative connotations of her past. But what I'm saying? It's
all like I said, it all depends on how or what stage she was at once he met her. Like, if that was just something of the past and he met her and, that was just a phase and, she's not like that anymore, she's not carrying herself like that anymore, I feel like those thoughts wouldn't really play too much in the back of his head.
You know what's funny, though? In the past, right? You could probably attest to this. You ever had a girl or heard of a girl that all the niggas was catching bodies, and when it was your turn, all of a sudden she really liked you.
Oh, she changed. Yeah.
I'm just like them. Like, give me the box.
No. You know what it is? No. I'm gonna tell you what happens, bro. Why? By the time they get to you, look, they already had their fun. They had their phase. Women slow down after a while, and
I don't.
You might seem like a nigga to slow down with. I've been there before too.
Yeah,
it's like
I want the box just like you gave it to him.
But it's a little. It's not enough.
Maybe,
it's not
maybe
enough.
now she wants to slow down because she really does like you.
She likes you.
You
give that vibe.
But it's like, we know you.
But
we
if she
already
really
know
does
you
like you, it doesn't mean that you're not gonna get it. It just means you're not gonna
get it.
It's
gonna take a little longer to get it.
You're trying to.
And now I gotta.
You giving me more the
run
song
around
and dance.
You get a little bit more to run around.
But we understand.
And then you end up liking me now. So now everybody like, yo, boy, what you do?
Yo, you about to cuff?
Right.
We get it.
Hell yeah, that's my girl. Hell yeah, that's my girl.
But you gotta remember LV. You gotta remember LV is judgmental.
In the streets,
hell yeah, that's my girl.
In the streets,
judgmental.
It's hard. In the streets, that's hard.
What?
It depends on how many. It depends on how many niggas. It's hard for us to be like, nah,
I
bro.
used to walk and hold his hand.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we understand.
Somebody probably was looking at you like,
she's so stupid. She's so stupid.
What's crazy is we more judgmental on it than they are.
Yeah.
Way more.
I think so, because
Absolutely.
I feel like, especially nowadays, a lot of women are living more of a more carefree life. Whether as guys been doing that since
Let's
the beginning
go.
of time.
Yeah.
But that goes
so
back
now
to
women
double
feel like, you know what?
Yeah.
Women be like, you know what? Why can you do it, but I can't do it? You know what? That's a double standard. I'm out here. I'm living my life. It's 2022. You know all the things y'all say. I'm out here.
You know what I used to say?
This
is immature me as far as I grew up. I used to say to the woman, I used to say to the woman like this, right? I had a term and I was like, yo, it's like sex is like, y'all shit is like a baseball glove and our shit is like a bat. You know what I'm saying? We could keep swinging and swinging and swinging.
But once our shit wear out,
break. Now with the mitt, you throw enough pitches at it, start to lose this. You know what I'm saying? That's how I used to feel. And I'm like,
that is so bullshit. Bullshit.
Magic had mad bodies. It's like
bullshit.
Fuck was I talking about?
Yeah, bullshit. Come on.
It sounded good.
It sounded good.
You feel me? I was running with it.
But yo, let us know what y'all thinking in comments. At this point in time, at y'all age 30 plus or whatever the case.
Yeah.
Can you change that man? Can you change that woman? Are y'all accepting that? Does body count even matter? Is the wholeness deleted? All that stuff. All right?
Y'all checking the whole facts?
Are y'all checking the whole facts?
Definitely doing the whole facts.
This is Love in the Building. This is another episode of His Side on the True Podcast.
All right.
Like, comment, share, subscribe. Thanks a lot.
You got his side, her side, the truth. Everybody got a story, all that matters is proof. We got the ladies in the red, fellas rocking the blue. So we gon' sit down and discuss it, talk it out with the crew. Shorty want a man, but wanna be outside. So I had a wife with a girlfriend on the side. It's time to shit the facts, no more holding it aside. This show is a roller coaster, everybody take a ride. His side, her side, the truth. His side, her side, the truth. His side, her side, the truth. Everybody got a story, all that matters is proof. What?